Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I am the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Hebrew text, Tanakh, what we call the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered testimony of the various prophets of the Old Testament. It became the Book of Zion. I found contained within it a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to undertake. So I did. And the final thing that I was required to do to become the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, the prophet of the Old Testament, is to publish peace, which is what I've been doing here on social media and on YouTube, by reading to you from my unpublished manuscripts, Pot Smoker's Bible and Book of Zion. Today I'm reading to you from the 27th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible. It contains the 24th and final chapter of the Book of Zion. And I'm going to take up now where I left off last time. It goes like this. Now, I'm not saying that couples should marry for life when kids get involved. That's half of our problem. People have kids before they get married. They get married because of the child. Then all three are miserable forever. Not good. That's where the problem came from. So we need to rethink marriage. No couple should ever get married because of pregnancy. However, both parents do need to nurture the child, but not as a fake family. We can accommodate the life force when it sees fit to create life without a social stigma that creates suffering. No, so children should be seen as a gift of life, sacred, beyond the bonds of marriage. Life alone determines conception. Marriage has nothing to do with it. Marriage is a spiritual union. It goes deeper than flesh. I'm attached to the body, but I merge with the soul. It is the merging of the souls that is the true marriage. Only soulmates can merge. So, marriage of the body, as we know it, is superficial, only on the surface. The true marriage is the merge. When two soulmates come together, they fall in love at first sight. They are pulled together like magnets because we are magnets. We are electromagnetic beings who are by nature drawn to our mates. This mating of the soul is more binding than any ritual or law on earth. A true marriage needs no ceremony. When we stop creating chaotic family units based on a false sense of morality that binds strangers for life to unmated partners of the flesh, then we will create a society that seeks unity over prosperity, propriety. A family that is based on anything less than true love is a chaotic mismatch that creates friction. To bind yourselves for life to another soul is a serious matter. To merge with your soulmate is to become one with them. No formal vow can ever create the merge. To merge is to be married by nature. In this society, we bind two souls together for life physically. Without the merge, it's not required. It's not even acknowledged. This mergeless union creates chaos because the soulmates of each match is for that lifetime, forced to find a lesser mate. We all seek love. If we can't find the true love, then we will settle for a lesser one. This creates chaos, as each mismatched pair seeks others to mate, thus preventing even more pairs from finding each other, creating more chaos. To correct this problem, we need to look at sex from a more natural place. Sex is about more than procreation. It is a means to seek unity. Physical attraction alone is not proof of a soulmate. Sex and time are required. Soul sex merges the souls. The couple becomes one over time. So sex is a way to prove the merge. To have sex is to seek unity through union. Sex isn't just for marriage. And there's just isn't a ritual or a vow that can force the merge. Either you merge during sex or you don't. It is idiotic, therefore, to bind a couple together before they have even attempted to merge. To marry before having sex is to risk a lifetime of chaos and misery. Our ritual of virgin brides is the means to ensure misery and chaos, forcing soulmates to remain beyond each other's reach for the entire lifetimes. Our unrealistic ritual of marriage has created a warped sense of family. We view family as a social unit, not as a spiritual one. We bind our bodies to unmatched mates, creating children whose bodies are made up of chaotic energies. The mismatched energy of the mating pair creates the offspring whose energy fields are unbalanced to begin with. So they're sick and they're weak and they're unintelligent, deformed, because their parents weren't truly mated. Add this spiritual weakness to the bodies of the children in an environment that is toxic with pollutants and a diet that is more poison than nutritious, and you get exactly the children that you see alive today. Our children are sicker, weaker, more obese, and less intelligent than prior generations. We have done all the wrong things possible in regards to our children. So let's stop creating children of sex and start creating children of love. My people stopped creating chaotic families in the 60s. Marriage no longer bound them to a mixed match. The fathers were free to leave. The children were free of the forced social norm of a chaotic family union that looked on the surface to be right and true, but which often hid flaws that created negative emotions and forced responses. Zombie families bound by ritual alone. Now those children of chaos, whose parents weren't true mates, were able to find a form of balance in the single-parent home. The loss of the father brings financial burdens, but the forced union is no longer an overriding issue in the home. The single parent is free to find a true mate. That freedom to seek a true mate balances the child's chaotic nature because the child doesn't have to witness the chaotic forces that created them or the struggle between the forced pairing of that marriage. Now, in Zion, as I've said, we will seek to reunite fathers with their children. To do so is to give back to the child that which fate took away the father. The father's heritage and the right to be whole spiritually. Both father and child suffer right now, as does the mother, who is forced to be all things to the child. Only reunion with the family unit in a new form can correct this problem of the family. In Zion, we will address the problem of family unity. The reason we have such a problem with the modern concept of marriage is that it is based on the rigid, ancient religious rituals that treated the bride as chattel and gave all authority to the father. The father gives his daughter to the groom. She is bound to him for life. The men exchange the female. She is bound by their exchange. This is not a marriage. It is a transaction, an exchange of property. Now, we dress it up with ritual, with love. Now, but those ancient vows still treat love as a secondary concern. The bride is contracted to the groom from the father. It is a lifelong commitment. That is a binding of flesh to flesh. It embodies the spiritual unity of mates, but it doesn't guarantee the merge, which is the true marriage. No ritual required. This ritualized mating of flesh, without regard to the merge, looks like a marriage, but lacks the actual spiritual union of the merge. So, in order to reunite the existing families, we must reimagine sex, dating, and marriage. We should take the ritual out of the equation, or at least as they are now. Let's take rituals based on ancient religions out of the family dynamic. To do so will ensure a healthier population in coming generations. Which brings us to my next segment, which is Hosea 2:16 to 23. It becomes Zion 24:43 to 50. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim from out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their names. And in that day I will make a covenant with them, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heavens, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow, and the sword, and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever, even ye, I will betroth thee unto me, in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercy. And I will betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will hear, saith the Lord. I will hear the heavens, and they will hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. The first passage, Hosea 2:16. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali. This is, of course, the verse where I came up with the name of Ishi. This name, Ishi, is the only true name for God, i.e. the Grey, in these days. If you want to contact them, the Grey, ask for Ishi. That way they know that you are not seeking a false ancient god, like, say, Baali, or Balaam, or Baal, or Jesus, or Allah, or Krishna, or Jehovah, or Yahweh. All other names are bound by ancient ritual to a bygone deity that no longer has a living people of those ancient names. So today, as was determined long ago, the name of power is Ishi. That name represents the modern Grey. The Grey chose the name Ishi 3,000 years ago. When Ishi is invoked, all other names are defunct. The Grey will only respond to Ishi requests, so the names we use now, which come from ancient deceased gods, no longer has the power of living connections to the Grey. Only the name Ishi has that authority today. So may Ishi watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm, and may he teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of him. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to Camp Zion. If you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote the books. I am Zion of the Most High God of Israel, the prophet of the Old Testament, come to save us all, so to speak. My name is Zion. I love you way too much to ever say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.